Let's see here. Can go away. Hello, Zachary. What is up? How's it going? Thank you. It's very nice. I appreciate it a lot. I can't complain for the most part. I mean, I could, but I won't. I was doing my pull-ups because if you don't train in what you plan to wear for the end of the world, you're gonna die. That's all that I gotta say. That's all that I gotta say. So you just gotta do your pull-ups and all your important stuff. This is an IMTV. Hello, Tom. How you feeling, buddy? I was just doing my pull-ups after talking to my union guy for the last couple hours. And now I'm a bit famished and parched. Still not good. Well, feeling better is an improvement. Definitely an improvement. Beautiful, beautiful Finnish vodka. Gotta love that stuff. I can go over there. But other than that, how's everyone doing? What brand is the helmet cover? I had it made as the brand. So it's just made out of, I have a lot of just Woodland 50/50 nylon cotton ripstop fabric. And had it made. Had it made. I had them copy it off of, God, these fucking fruit flies, I tell you. Take that, you dumb son of a bitch. But yeah. It turned out pretty well, actually. There's a couple little things on it that I wish were a little better. Kind of like I wish that this was a little bit tighter, the seams here in the back, because they folded it over and they gave it just a little bit too much room. So it's not perfect, but if I washed the cover, I'm sure it would shrink down and fit a little bit better. But other than that, everything on it is pretty great. Right, how do I look? Safe? Good. Safety first. That's what I would say. Good evening, Jake. Good evening. Salutations. So, what was I going to do? What am I doing? Who are you? Why am I here? First things first. Before the stream gets more than like 5 people on it, we're past that. It's already like 7. I got to go in the general chat and be like, hey, guess what? Stuff. So that way nobody yells at me. Because patrons like to yell at me. They like to yell at me too much when I don't tell them that stuff's happening. Even though it's the middle of a work day and they're supposed to be like, I don't know, working. But that's all right. That's beside the point. They should be contributing to society, but they won't for some reason. My subs don't do that, I guess. They don't contribute to society. But what do you do? Thank you. It's a very, 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 very expensive helmet. So, to judge you how expensive this helmet is, it's about 5 of these vests in price. So, just to give you a frame of reference, it's probably one of the most expensive helmets I own. To be fair. Probably one of the most expensive things. Tom, you'll be all right. Time fixes a lot of stuff. I won't say everything. They say time heals all wounds, but I think time makes everything a little easier to live with. I wouldn't say fixes it, but it sure makes stuff a little easier to live with. We're gonna make piazza, I think, because I haven't done an updated thing, an updated recipe on the pizza yet. All right, I gotta fix my swoosh. Gotta fix my swoosh. There we go. Fix my swoosh. Then I suppose I could take what I think is probably one of the best pieces of gear that everyone thinks is overrated, the good old fanny pack. If you don't use a fanny pack, you're fucking sleeping on how awesome the fanny pack is. If you believe in like using a gunfighter setup, just fucking get a fanny pack. It's also a belt. It's like just do better. That's right, it's me, Ryan. It's been a while, buddy. It's been a while. That's right. Still looking to buy a house? Always looking to buy a house. Buying a house is good, you know. You got to do it. All right, so we want half a cup of bread flour. Just doesn't matter. Don't be exact. Nothing's exact in this recipe. I can go over there. Scratch my itch. And we want a half a cup of all-purpose flour. Doesn't need to be exact. This is the dough. You are correct. The dough. We're going to leave that, so we don't need the bread flour anymore. We are going to keep the all-purpose flour handy, though. That is important. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start blooming our yeast. We're going to bloom our yeast. And so you want to get a measuring cup. You want to get about a half cup, okay, or about 125 milliliters of not hot, but like warm to hot water. Warm to hot. That's what you want. Warm to hot. A bit too hot. Perfect. And once you get your half cup, 125 mils of flour, we want to get our instant yeast. Instant. And you want about a heaping teaspoon. If I get my teaspoon, for those of you who are metric, that's about 5 milliliters. You want like 5 to 7. If it's colder out or you're higher elevation, I would use more. If you're lower elevation, warmer, you could probably get away with less. We want a nice big heaping 5 milliliters of yeast. We're going to put that in there. But how's everyone else doing? Has anyone bought any cool stuff lately? You guys bought any cool stuff? I'd very much like to know about it. I know, I love yeast. It's the best thing ever. You could use it to make booze. Speaking of which, I got a whole new case of beers for fall, and I got some tangerine Finnish vodka up there. So we might make a Moscow Mule later, because I get to sleep in until like 3 a.m. tomorrow. It's fucking great. Sleeping in till like 3 a.m. Come on, body armor. You're supposed to be like at my collarbone, but just better. Fucking Marines not knowing how to make body armor. And we want about that much salt. Bam. And then I like a little curry powder because warming mouth spices are good. Yeah, wing it in there. Season to taste is what I always say. Garlic powder. Yes, please. Lots of that shit. Fucking load it up, Clark. Don't need any of that. Don't need any of that. Don't need any of that either. Where is it? That's not what I want. Where is it? There it is. the Chipotle chili powder. Just give that a sprinkle. Give that a nice sprinkle for color. It kind of speckles the dough, makes it look good. What else do I want to put in there? You know what? We'll do some dried basil, just for some added color as well. Just to spice up the crust a little bit. We'll get just a sprinkling in there. Perfect. And we want to get our lightly fucked olive oil. Lightly fucked is the way to go. I like this brand because it's tasty. Make sure you're tasting your ingredients. If you can't stand the taste of it by itself, I wouldn't put it in any recipe. You want about 2 tablespoons of this. At least that's what they say. That's what they tell me. You want about 2 tablespoons of the lightly fucked olive oil. Might get a new job soon. Hell yeah, man. Me too. Me too. I might get to wear this. So, and a helmet again. Which is great. It's fucking exactly what I wanted to do in life. World. We're going to stir our yeast into our warm water now. It's another fruit fly flying around pissing me off. Just when I thought I got rid of all the fuckers, they come back. Just to make me mad. Yeah, my cookie. Too bad this is mostly made with your hands. Am I right? Well, diabetes. Yeah, diabetes is bad. That will keep you out of a lot. So. Well, good luck getting rid of diabetes. I don't think they have a cure for that yet. So, but good luck. And now I want some sugar, just a little bit, just to get the yeast, to get the yeast's juices flowing. The yeast really loves sugar, so I usually just get just the tiniest little inkling. Throw it in there with the yeast, just to get their fucking creative juices flowing. Set the mood. Set the mood. I don't know. I've never had diabetes. I'm healthy as a horse. The horses are dumb. Healthy as a smart horse. See what I did there? Oh, so you got the type 2? The one from eating bad and stuff like that? I mean, it's not hard. I mean, fucking shit. Sorry, people are asking me questions on YouTube comments. So we're just gonna let our yeast kind of do its thing for a smidge a second, because it's the last thing we got to add to the dough. In the meantime, we're gonna make a drink. So what should I have? I have a sampler of fall cider beers to try. I didn't even look at all the kinds that it came with. I just bought the case because it was a weird looking box. I don't even know what flavors are in it. Or I can make a Moscow Mule with tangerine vodka. Sampler, all right. It's one for the beer sampler, and then we'll pick which can I'm going to drink as well. If the beer sampler gets more than the Moscow Mule, we can pick what kind of beer. Here's where you're going to be upset, ACM. We're not doing anything. See that? It's a bowl with flour and olive oil and spices in it. That's what we got. And then we got yeast in a cup right there. All right, so the sampler beer thing looks like what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna throw just for the yeast so they can stay active, just another little smidge of sugar into the bowl here. Just a smidge, and then all right. So let's see here what I got. Okay, so you guys gotta pick what flavor out of those I'm gonna try. You let me know. You let me know which one. Caramel apple. That one looks good. Is that what you're saying? I'm up for it, if that's what people want. I'm doing this for you, the people. This is a brand new case, so 6.5%. Damn. So we got. It looks like the flavors are classic apple, roasted pumpkin, caramel apple, and apple pie. So it would go classic apple, roasted pumpkin, caramel apple, apple pie. Whichever you guys would think is best. So far, we got one for caramel apple. Roasted pumpkin. Okay. They all sound kind of interesting. I mean, other than the classic apple is just, obviously apple cider. Just your classic cider would be the flannel mouth. So we got one for 3 flavors. Nobody likes apple pie, apparently. All you fucking Americans don't like apple pie. Because you got all 3 of the other. We got to come to a decisive decision here, people. Decisive. We got to do a decision. I'm parched over here. I'm parched. So we got one for each, and then apple pie. Well, you already voted, Ryan, for caramel. You gotta get somebody new in. Somebody new. There's 7 people watching. Somebody say a flavor. It's gonna be good. Hopefully. I hope so. I fucking really hope so. Paige would hate this. She hates apples. Like, she hates fucking apple flavor stuff. And, like, baked apples. Like, she hates apple pie. And crap like that. So she would not like this one. But it's a good question. I don't know. I fucking love apples. Apples are great. Apple flavored shit is great, But like she doesn't like. I think it's like more of a baked apple thing. You know what I mean? I think a lot of it is like texture. You know what I mean? I agree. Apples are fucking good. But like, it's kind of. I feel like it's kind of like the people that don't like baked apples are the same people that don't like coconut. You know what I mean? I've never had like an apple cake, but I'd probably eat it. I like apples. She's got a bunch of apples from her dad's place too, and some corn that I keep forgetting to grab. So I'll have to go see that when I go up and see my buddy Boys tomorrow morning. I'll have to go and grab some of that corn. She's got some fresh from the farm sweet corn. All right. Decision, or are we just going to do a random generation between the 3 flavors that were chosen? Because nobody likes apple pie, apparently. Nobody likes apple pie. So we'll do a random generation. Pick a number between 1 and 3. All right, generate. Are you ready? We got a number 2. Okay. So obviously, number 2 would just be 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be It's gonna be the pumpkin one. We're gonna try the pumpkin one first. Ooh, it comes with a fancy black can. Look at that. Like it's Halloween up in this bitch. Okay. Like it's Jalloween up in here. Okay. So then we're gonna roast pumpkin hard cider. Okay. Gross. Wow, they like really overfilled that can. Like a lot. You get what you pay for. That's actually pretty damn fucking good, I'd say. I'd drink that. Drink the shit out of that. It does kind of taste like, almost like a pumpkin pie, like pumpkin pie filling would before you add all of the goddamn like sweetened condensed milk and shit and like all the sugar and stuff. Like it kind of tastes like that. And then like obviously apple cider. So. No. That's pretty fucking good though. I'd drink that. All right, so now we'll put our yeast in there. Our yeast and our water, our liquid. How's it look? Does it look like pizza yet? Would you guys eat that? Does that look like delicious pizza? You gotta grab your wooden spoon. It's gotta be wooden. Your wooden spoon. We're just gonna start doing a mix. And obviously it's gonna be a bit wet at first. So that's why we kept our flour on standby here. You wanna add more as necessary. A wooden spoon. A wooden spoon. Perfect. Wooden spoon can now go in there. We're dry enough to where we can now start to consolidate the ball into a dough. Because right now it is what is called a shaggy mass. As you can see. Hay. What about hay? Hay is for horses. Piazza. That's what we're making. It's the improved recipe. I haven't ever put the improved recipe on the internet yet. One second, I think somebody knocked. Wasn't my place. Must have knocked on the neighbors. That's right. To protect me from the flavor bomb. All right, so once you get your dough, it's going to absorb a lot more flour than you think. So like as you go, it'll get kind of stickier. So we'll set that aside. We'll go right to the countertop. We're going to flour our work surface just lightly. Bam. You're gonna knead. You're gonna knead it. You're gonna develop that gluten. And eventually it's gonna just start holding together and taking shape, and it's gonna absorb flour. It's gonna keep absorbing flour. You want it to stay kind of wet, kind of sticky. You don't want to go until it's like completely dry. But it'll definitely, as you can see, start absorbing the flour that is on the table quite easily. But you just want to go until you start to feel it kind of get some spring, some stretch to it, you know. Keep absorbing that flour as you need to. As it gets a little bit too sticky to work with, just keep taking it all. Keep kneading. And when it gets to a very kind of like springy, you'll feel it kind of fight you a little bit, and it'll kind of want to like spring back into a shape. Then you want to just kind of form it into a little kind of doughy baby like that, and then you can rinse out your bowl. Now, rinsing out your bowl, okay? Rinsing out your bowl is going to serve two purposes. It's going to heat the bowl up, because you should use hot water, okay? Which we want. You want to use that hot water, okay? And you want to make sure it's dry on the inside. I just like to use a paper towel, which is good, because we'll save that paper towel. And you get just a little flour. Give her just a sprinkle dusting around. Throw that on there, and then I like to put just a drippity drop of olive oil on top of it. Just a drippity drop to try to keep it from drying out too much, and then you just kind of give her a little bit of a pat down to keep the top from drying out so much while she gets ready to expand. Rinse my wooden spoon off, and then you're going to just keep drying your hands and everything. Get that kind of paper towel just a little bit moist. Just a little moist. We're going to throw it over our bowl now. And we're going to set our bowl aside. Put our flour away. Put our olive oil away. We'll need the olive oil again. We'll need it again eventually. Got our fresh basil. Gotta have our fresh basil. Basil's important. The bag can go over there. We put our measuring cup away. Get our flour off of our computer. Take all this stuff. Try to not make a mess. Try to not make a mess, stuff like that. Clean as you go. That's the most important thing you can do in a kitchen. Clean as you go. Don't be a fucking pig and leave your dishes sitting around for forever. Clean as you go. Do a good job. Don't be a slob. There. My hands are all wet. Man, I gotta shave here soon too. My beard's getting a little too rough. It's pulling the accentuation away from my beautiful moustache. You don't really need to do the whole throw it up stretching thing for pizza. Fucking fruit flies. Goddamn sons of bitches, I tell you. You don't need to do the whole throw it up stretch it thing. For one, we're not making a pizza that big. I'm one person. And it's really just fanfare. You don't actually need to do that for pizza. You don't. And some pizza dough you can't really do that with. You can do it with this dough if you need it a lot more. You got to really build up that gluten though, so the dough has a lot of stretch. But I don't really like that as much because the dough tends to get kind of chewier. And I'm sure a lot of you have noticed that when you go out and you get pizza where they do that, where they toss it up in the air and stuff like that, or they over knead it, and the dough almost has like some stretch to it, even when it's like cooked. Like the bread fibers want to just like hold on to each other a lot, and I don't really like that texture as much in my pizza. I mean, it doesn't make it bad or anything, but I would just prefer a dough that isn't as elastic as that. So, but it's all personal preference. Comes with the manual even. Look at that. The Marine Corps System Command. Program Manager, Infantry Combat Equipment, Improved Modular Tactical Vest Use and Care Guide. Okay, well, first of all, Marines are already going to be lost. Look at that. Look at all this shit. It's a good thing they put fucking pictures on it. Components. Okay. My components are just components. It doesn't list them or anything. It just says components. Ballistic plates. Assemble carrier. Okay. 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 Well, those are all the extras. I don't want the extras. Tells you how to put all the extras on it first before you even like put it together. Warning, do not brush with metal bristles. Warning, only emergency doff the IMTV if your life is in danger. What? Warning, you have to remove your throat protector before you can take the vest off. Never stow in a standing position. All right. Good things to learn from this. Keep that in there for if I ever need to learn how to put this thing together. And I love how they got snaps in addition to the Velcro. So that way when your fucking Velcro inevitably wears out. And I also like this. I also like how the fucking loopy dooper's down here instead of like right here in the middle of your chest. I like how it's down by like your waist, by like where your fucking hand is naturally. So that's kind of a nice feature. Oh, man, that's actually pretty good. I'm pretty pleasantly pleased with the pumpkin. I hate Velcro in general. Velcro's dumb as fuck. I mean, I don't really mind it for things that you hardly ever take off. Okay, like if you're doing an insignia, you know, like on a uniform, like the American flag on the American uniform, you don't really ever take those off unless you're washing the uniform. That makes sense because that patch covers nearly the whole Velcro panel up on the sleeve, you know. And well, that was before they went to like zipper pockets. On the old ACUs, it was like a flap, you know, and it would cover almost the whole upper flap panel of Velcro, and so it wouldn't like snag on stuff. It wouldn't pull off very easy and stuff. That's where it makes sense. When you start putting these big like 4x4 fucking patches of Velcro, and your like unit patches and stuff don't cover all of that, I don't get that. I think Velcro is really dumb when you have stuff like that where it's not doing anything and it's loud. Velcro is really loud, so not a fan. But I do kind of like the fact that they went to like buckles on some of the shit for things like this, so you can like take the vest off a lot easier, you know, because it has buckles. So which I'm a pretty okay fan of buckles and snaps and stuff like that. But like Velcro is a shame. I'm not really a fan of the Velcro. Bag moved. There's a ghost in here. It's haunted. It's haunted. It's haunted. So what is everyone else having for lunch / dinner, stuff like that? I agree. Velcro is nonsense in general. You know what they should do? Fucking teach soldiers how to sew. And they should have to fucking sew all of their fucking patches on like they used to do back in the BDU days. You either pay somebody to fucking do it that knows how to do it, or you learn how to fucking do it and you put it on yourself. Because then you are also able to know how to repair your uniform in the field, like sewing on a button and stuff like that, and like doing a basic, you know, seam to like repair a hole and stuff. Like, then you know how to do all of that in the field. You know how many people I know don't know how to sew and how much money I fucking make sewing fucking dress blues and shit like that and sewing shit on people's uniforms for them and stuff like that. And now with the new OCPs, you can literally take all the Velcro off and sew shit on. You don't need that anymore. So I get it, Tom. I get it. I like pizza. That's why I'm making pizza. Tonight's a good night for pizza. And it's a relatively healthy meal. I make a relatively healthy pizza. I don't put a lot of meat on it or anything. So it's a relatively healthy pizza. So it's gonna be good. Good. So it's gonna be great. So we got our beer. How about we mix a drink and we try some of the tangerine vodka? Oh, you bought a sewing machine? What kind of sewing machine did you get? Did you get like a real nice one or did you get like a crappy one? It's a good brand. Okay, Toyota makes a pretty good sewing machine. It's a pretty good one. And secondhand is really the way to go on sewing machines because brand fucking new sewing machines are expensive for a good one. So getting like a secondhand repaired or like restored one is the way to go. And fucking knowing how to run a sewing machine is the best fucking thing ever. If you're in the military, you can make so much money sewing shit and fixing people's uniforms and crap just by knowing how to sew. It is fucking absurd. Absolutely absurd. There you go. It's also a good thing, especially if you lose a lot of weight. Knowing how to sew can help with stuff like that, especially like seams that come undone and stuff like that. I really want, if I had all the money in the world, I'd buy a leather sewing machine. Not like a like automatic one. I'd want one of the like hand crank like lever ones. Um, but those are like $1,500, and right now, I'm saving up to buy pewter. I got to buy a new pewter. Fucking fruit flies. I got to buy a new pewter so that way I can finally start doing shit. Fucking, I hate fruit flies so fucking much, and they're so bad here in the fucking summer, and I hate it. I fucking hate it. I have a vendetta against fruit flies. Like a lot. But I think they keep living in my drain. Like I take the garbage out before I go every time, to like go live out of the hotels and stuff. And but there's a lot of shit where it's like, I think they're living in the drain because I find them in the bathroom sometimes too. Like they're in the pipes of the building. So somebody else was knocking on the door in the hallway, and it wasn't me. But it's like, if we're gonna knock on the door, fucking like knock loud, like fucking knock so people could hear you. My hearing wasn't so good, I would not be able to pick up on that. Situational awareness is very heightened all the time. And I got a new video coming out for Sunday for you guys. A new one because finally, I got the Dropbox is still real slow. It's real slow with the uploading and stuff, but the last video uploaded this morning, so I'll get it all converted and stuff like that. Well, at least that's a tiny little patch of leather you have to sew. It's not hard sewing leather. It's just tedious. I don't like hand sewing because it's just tedious. And I'm not patient. I'm not a very patient man at all. It is one of my biggest crippling problems is I am not patient. My other big crippling issue is I'm very ticklish. I don't seem like the kind of guy that would be really, really ticklish, but I'm the like person that's like so ticklish I will hurt you if you tickle me like on accident. Somebody's knocking on doors again. That's worth it. 5 pounds is cheap. Cheap, 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 cheap. Can't go wrong with cheap. People are fucking, what's going on out here? Goddamn fucking kids out there. That's what it is. Goddamn fruit fly. All right. All right. Time to get comfortable. Oh, God. It's like losing 30 pounds. At least that's what it feels like. There you go. What kind of ammo boots are you going to buy? What kind of ammo boots do you intend to buy, sir? Check our do. It's doing do stuff, that's for sure. We're going to start prepping our topic. Do you have any particular brand of ammo boots you plan on buying? Because a lot of them are better than others. I'll tell you that much. A lot of them are a lot better than others. Yeah, there's plenty of repros out there. Like What Price Glory makes some repros, but they're the cheapest repos out there. But you can get them. So you can get the What Price Glory ones, I think, for $95. They're not the greatest, but they have most sizes available. So it's a good holdover till you find something better. Anyways, so the light army boots. I wish I had awesome pair of Austrian light army boots, but I don't. Did I get them finally? Did I get them? Maybe. I wish. It's one of the last things I need for my World War I Austro-Hungarian set is a pair of Austro-Hungarian boots. And there's some good companies up in Poland that make them. But I just got to spend the money. William Lennon does make a really, really good pair of ammo boots. They make really, really good boots in general. So. Good old tomatoes. This has become my new favorite pizza topping. Like it was only yesterday. I remember watching that video of you marching down your gravel road. You know, the kids are fucking slamming doors out there. I'm gonna do a mad. I'm gonna do a mad. And people don't want to hear me doing a mad. Trust me. That's right. Got to do the crunch crunch down the country road. It's a really like aesthetically pleasing sound. Hobnails on like the ground. It's it's a very ear pleasing noise. I will say that. It's very very ear pleasing. All right, so I gotta go get ready in case I have to do a mad. So 1 second. Nobody pay attention. All right. Where were we? Oh yeah, crunch on the beautiful asphalt and the gravel and everything. It's a really nice sound. It really really is. I'm a fan, anyways. I'm a big fan. We're making some piazza is what we're doing from scratch. It's over there in the bowl. The pizza dough we're making from scratch, and we're tasting the new fall edition of cider beers. Yes, leather soles did replace hobnails because leather soles eventually became just as durable, and then obviously they are much quieter. They do not transfer hot and cold as much as hobnails do, and yeah, they're a lot more flexible and they're lighter than hobnails are. Yeah, and they like Tom just said, they don't come off as easy. Rubber soles. I haven't seen any heel plates come off yet, but I've seen some toe plates come off. I've seen entire heels come off before. On like people that have worn some like originals to like events and stuff like that. They didn't like take care of them very well. I've seen entire heels come off. I've seen some soles start to like delaminate again on like originals, because you know the wooden pegs are what are really holding the fucking soles together a lot of times. And as the wooden pegs get kind of old and dry and start to like rot away, the soles start kind of delaminating, especially if you have worn through the stitch. So yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, I got my pair over there, so I got an SM wholesale pair, but I would not recommend buying from them because my pair came damaged, and I have been waiting 6 months for a replacement, and they stopped communicating with me. I filed a complaint with my big email chain and everything to the Better Business Bureau, and the Better Business Bureau knocked their fucking time down. So 10 years. I wouldn't say that much. Damn. Damn, Tom. I thought the Norwegians were making good shit. Did you tell me to buy a pair of those and they're like the heels are falling off? Come on now. My Canadian boots would never do that. How you been? Good. Been busy. Way too goddamn busy. Way too busy. I got my last hoop to jump through for the new job tomorrow. It's going to go well, but it's 7 in the morning and I got to drive all the way to the cities. I got like an hour drive to the cities. But I'll be up at like 3 anyways. That'll be like sleeping in for me. All right. All right. Heads or tails on new job. I can't tell you what it is yet. Heads or tails on the next beer we're going to try, because it's between the regular cider and the caramel apple one. And we'll say the caramel apple one will be heads. So all of you say heads or tails. All right. So heads is caramel apple. Okay, so you ready? Tom's saying tails. Tom wants the tail. Okay. You ready? It's tails. Look at that. Good old eagle there on the corner. All right, so that means we're having a regular cider. Oh boy. Is that femboy? You join? So this is just your regular cider type beer. Oh, and Lock Bars is here too. This is from Lock Bar's neck of the woods, sort of, kind of, over by his state, sort of, kind of. But he lives in Ohio, which is actually referred to in the Bible as a place where dreams go to die. That's actually really pleasant. It tastes like somebody just mixed like apple cider and beer. You know how like a lot of like ciders are way too sweet? This one's actually really pleasant. You get a lot of the beery kind of flavors to it, and you also get a lot of the like appley flavor. See, Ohio it's referred to in the Bible as the place where dreams go to die. I don't even make the rules. All right, I gotta move this because I gotta turn the oven on here soon. Nobody pay attention, but it's just in case them kids act up again. All right. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. Look at that already. Isn't it Ohioan? Ohioan? That's what I'm saying, Lock Bars. This is from Michigan. Do you know? Have you ever heard of them? Blake's. They're from Michigan. They make some really good beers, and they just came out with their new. I was right, Ohioan. All right. They just came out with a new fall pack. It's really good, actually. Blake's. Does it say on here? It's independently owned. Okay. They have 5 unique apple blends to them. All right, take it easy, Femboy. If you make it later, we're going to make a pizza if you want to see it. Ooh, Voodoo Ranger. IPAs are a bit much for me. All right, Blake's, please. Let's try to figure out where they are from. And where are they from? Do they have an about page? God damn it! About, of course they do. Our story. Family-owned Michigan craft cidery. Gerald and Lovey. Who names their kid Lovey? 13 fucking kids in Armada, Michigan. Armada, Michigan. Lock bars. Does that answer your question? Do you know where Armada, Michigan is? 13 fucking kids. That was, well, to be fair, this company started back in 1946. So yeah, so if you're interested, lock bars, I don't know how much of a drinker your wife is. But they're kind of a fruitier, nicer, and it's obviously a cider, and falls around the corner. So they're like a 6.5% beer, which is up there for beer. But they're tasty. They're really tasty and refreshing. I'll say that. I'm sure you guys could find it down at like Jungle Gyms or something like that. I don't know if you have one of those by you, but they're really good. And they just came out with a 4-pack, and this one's the regular cider. And we tried the roasted pumpkin cider before this. And then they have an apple pie cider. And then there is a caramel apple cider in that fall release pack. So, our dough's doing a thing. It's growing, but it's not growing fast enough for my taste. I think you'd like it, lock bars. If you're looking for something kind of refreshing to drink, to take the edge off after work, which I'm a big fan of. I mean, it probably sounds like an alcoholic, tendency, probably. I mean, I could see where it could very easily get out of hand, but but I'm a big fan of you get done with work and you come home and you wash your hands, and you start making dinner and you have a drink. You have a beer, you have a drink while you make dinner, and then you finish that beer or whatever while you're eating your dinner, and then you have like a glass of juice or a glass of water or something like that. And I mean, I'm a big fan of that, and I'll do that every day. But that might be the only drink I have is a beer. And even then, like if I know I have to get up early, I won't. But like I don't have to get up early tomorrow, so I'm gonna have a couple beers tonight. So, well, there you go. Well, on the way home from or maybe on your way to pick up the kids' lock bars, you should try to find one of these. I would very much like your opinion on what you think of the Blake's hard ciders. As a Michigan, is it a Michiganian or a Michiganite? Better deal. I like better deals. Um, so I talked to my union guy Paul today. Me and him had quite a long discussion. It was about an hour and a half long. Me and him just talked. Michigander, that's dumb. I think the Yoopers got it right by the fact that they're part of Michigan, but they're not a fucking Michigander. They're the Yoopers. I wouldn't want to be affiliated with anyone called a Michigander. I'm proud to call myself a Minnesotan. Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a pretty state, so you'll like it. So, real estate's kind of pricey in Michigan. Not Michigan, in Wisconsin. But they're a pretty chillaxed state. They're one of the few like conservative states in the north, which is kind of nice. So, but it is pretty. So, I got to give Wisconsin that. It is pretty. Union guy went. Me and him had quite a long conversations about a lot of stuff. A lot of it was not so nice. A lot of it was pretty nice. A lot of stuff that he kept telling me. Basically, what it boiled down to was, "I'll try." That's kind of what he told me a lot. So I don't have high hopes. It's a lot of the same stuff. You really can't tell where Wisconsin ends and Minnesota begins. They're pretty much the same kind of terrain and landscape. So just how it be. But yeah, Wisconsin is one of the very few like conservative northern states. No, they have plains. Kind of the same thing that Minnesota has. The southern half of the state is kind of plains, and the northern half of the state is very heavily forested. Minnesota is not purple, and a lot of people actually really don't like purple here. That's just our football team, but they're barely a football team, and they suck. They got a brand new stadium, and they can't even win. It's bad. It's bad. So, but what do you do? My tax money went up to pay for that fucking stadium, and they can't even win. So, the capital city and the surrounding area is very blue. Unfortunately, over half the population lives there. But the rest of the state, like geographic wise, like if you look at it on a map, like county wise, very red. Minnesota is very red, except for a couple little blue dots across the map. But those 3 little blue dots, over half the people live in. So, Wisconsin, that's what I just said. You know, Wisconsin is much more conservative than Minnesota is. So, policy wise, anyways, I would agree with you. They're much more conservative. But hey, you could still get an abortion in Minnesota for now. For now. Which I'm all about. If ladies, if you want to come here and get an abortion, I'll buy you a drink. So I'll buy you a drink to help you through your troubles. Stuff like that. Happy to do it. Yeah, well, that was a dumb decision on their fucking governor's part to do that. So it's going to drive the cost of living up in that state a lot. Actually, in the next decade, a lot of decisions that have been made in Wisconsin recently that have absolutely fucking tanked the economy down the road in Wisconsin was pretty dumb to do, but they did that. So I don't want a 1911 lock bars. I have a SIG 210. It's a Swiss 1911 that's better in every way. Yes, soon enough, a lot of people in Wisconsin in 5-10 years are going to be moving to Minnesota because as bad as Minnesota is, it's going to be better living than in Wisconsin in 5 to 10 years. It's going to be bad in Wisconsin because a lot of governors, the last couple governors, have made some very, very, very fucking piss poor decisions. So. And hopefully soon, at the end of the year, you guys will have enough money squirreled away to buy a house, and you all can come visit. I'm going to throw a big house party whenever I buy a house, and you guys can all come out and visit, and we'll wear helmets and fucking drink in the garage. So, which is like the Minnesota national pastime, fucking drinking in the garage. Here, I'll just buy a house around here. That's right, Tom. I expect Alcavit and Stockfish. Better be here. If you ever decide to come visit, you're more than welcome, Tom. More than welcome. I'll even pick you up from the airport like I did Kong. I do. I have a SIG 210 lock bars. It is great. It's a beautiful handgun. It is better than the 1911 in every way. Stockfish, that's right. He said Stockfish lock bars. You guys can all come up here and stay. Stay in Devin's beautiful house. It'll be great. We're gonna whoop it up real good. Whoop it up. Not really, because I'm not allowed to carry a gun at work, and I work almost all of the time. Almost all of it. I'm at work. So, unfortunately. Well, I got to get some space for that. And then I'll get a couple square bales and I'll do the bayonet video. It'll happen. I got a lot of bayonets to do the bayonet video on. I really do. I got a lot of fucking bayonets. We want to get this to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Because that's what my ancient fucking hearing aid tan oven works in. Please ask, do tell, I'm gay. That's what I think of when you say don't ask, don't tell. Please ask, do tell, I'm gay. So, but no, I would carry a gun probably if I was allowed to. I mean, I'd never use it. It would just get in the way. But I probably would. Carry my good old Chinese toque out there, you know. Just fucking lay out some fucking communism on some people if they get uppity. It's the way to do it. Oh, my road rage is bad. I get road rage real hard. It's a huge problem. That's right. 7.62 by 25. I like 30 caliber, and 7.62 by 25 is a very good round. It'll reach out and touch. It'll perform well at close quarters. The Tokarev's cheap. The magazines are cheap. The parts for a Tokarev are cheap. It's a steel gun, which I like. It's got plastic grip panels, but the rest of it's fucking steel, and it's very rounded and it's very thin. The Tokarev's very narrow, so it's a great fucking carry gun because it's a heavy, kind of low recoil, very good ballistic performance, very rounded so it doesn't snag on anything, easy to draw, full-size handgun. And it hides really well on a person like my frame, which I'm kind of small, because it's so thin. So I think the Tokarev is a beautiful choice for a first starter gun. So 5.7 is great, but it's pricey. You can get 7.62 by 25 on the market, and you can get a Tokarev for cheap, and it'll give you basically the same performance as the 5.7. So that was always my argument against getting a 5.7 is 7.62 Tokarev is tried and tested. You can get it for very cheap, and you can get the guns and the parts that shoot them for very cheap. So the Bernot, I mean, it's a pretty good gun. It ain't no fucking Sig 210 though, Andrew. It ain't no fucking Sig 210. She be a beauty. That fucking Sig 210 I got, she be a goddamn beauty. Maybe I can sneak her in on camera here. Maybe I can do that. If I can get it to balance well. She be a beautimus. You can have guns in the background. You just cannot handle and or touch them on camera. So that is how their policy is worded. But that is just a really pretty fucking handgun. And I like it because, once again, it's full steel frame. That's the one of the made in America ones too. It's got beautiful walnut grips. It's a fucking single stack. The magazines are kind of pricey on it, but I got 6 magazines with it. You could change the sights all you want. And the slide is, for one, a full 5-inch slide. It has a very low sight to bore access, which is fantastic. Handguns have a problem with having the sights be too high above the bore axis, and it has a very high velocity slide, which actually believe it or not, keeps the recoil down. So, to be fair, that fucking handgun weighs 36 fucking ounces. So, it's over 2 fucking pounds. That handgun is over 2 goddamn pounds. And it holds 8 rounds of 9x19. The P7, you should get a P1. It's better. Good old P1. You want a SIG 210? I got that one with a couple boxes of ammo. It came with a box. Like, it came with the nice, like, SIG case. It came with a bore swab, a chamber, a lock, a full-on, like, through the barrel and everything, like, lock as well. And it came with 6 mags. So I got it for about $800. Well, yeah, because you used all the good old German surplus. I'd rather have a Luger than a Walther, but that's just personal preference. The Walther is better in almost every way because it's cheaper and stuff. But yeah, I like the Luger better. I do enjoy me a nice Luger. Born and raised, and how's that working out for you, Tom? That's the real question. How's that working out for you? There's a lot of them around. I wonder why Norway was so bad that everyone wanted to leave it. You know what I mean? Because why is there so many Norwegians around if Norway's so good? Just some food for thought. Just a little food for thought. Gotta get your hands all lubed up, you know. Lubed. We're gonna take our illustrious dough ball. As you can see, it's grown in size quite a lot. Suppose I could take this over so you guys could watch. Almost had that fucking fruit fly. I damn near had him. Damn near killed him. Gonna get our Ches. I think I missed him. God damn it. It'll never come. That's how that works. It'll never come. All right. You know what else makes a great food fight trap? Flamethrowers. All right. Now, question for you guys. Are you guys a light sauce or a heavy sauce type people? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Are you light sauce, heavy sauce, a lot of sauce, not enough sauce? How do you guys feel about sauce? Because I'm kind of a light sauce person. I don't need a lot of sauce because I obviously made the crust. And so I made sure the crust was like flavorful, so you don't need to have a shit ton of like sauce soggying up your pizza, because you made the dough, which is the bulk of the fucking pizza, tasty. That's how I look at it anyways. But that's me, that's just me. I don't know how you guys feel about sauce. How you guys feel about your sauce or not? Pizza, yeah. What does it look like we're making? This is my own homemade recipe too, so you guys can follow it to the T. Gotta get your nice wet ball of mozzarella. You gotta get them big chunks of wet mozzarella on there, all around the dough. Get those close to the edge, probably a little bit closer to the edge. Get all that mozzarella on there, the nice big chunks. And people say those chunks are too big. It's gonna melt. Don't worry, it'll melt. I'm just gonna get it all on there. Get it all on there. The whole ball. And then I like to take the last little bit and you can kind of crumble it into little bits of smaller chunks to kind of fill the gaps and around the edge of the crust a little easier. But yeah, wet mozzarella is the way to go. It's truly, truly better. Don't buy that fucking pre-shredded garbage. It's not good. All right, so how's our pizza look so far, you guys? Is that enough toppings? Do you guys like that? Is that good? Okay. We'll add a little bit more cheese. Got some beautiful shaved Parmesan. Now, question, is it Parmesan or Parmesan? Because I say Parmesan because that's how the fucking Italian people that invented it say it. But a lot of big, dumb, fucking retarded Americans say Parmesan cheese. But I say Parmesan. How's it looking so far? You guys gotta let me know what you think about my pizza. My feelings will be hurt if you say it's bad. Not really, but I can pretend. And then we're going to take our little halved tomatoes, which will, with a bit of exposure to the heat and stuff, get kind of sweet and soften up quite a lot. I'm a huge fan of just having a couple of them kind of spread throughout the whole pizza, of tomatoes. Like that. I think that's the way to go. So these are what are called Constellation tomatoes. And they're just a little green. So it's just a different like breed of tomato. So they're not brown. They just kind of are that color. They have a little bit of green on them. So like you have some yellow ones and you have some kind of redder ones, and then there's a different one that's kind of a little bit of green thrown in it. So, which I like because they all have a slightly different flavor, But that's how our pizza's going to go into the oven. Right there. So we're going to toss her into the oven. And it normally takes about 12 to 13 minutes. There's no like set time. It's as done as you want it to be. But yeah, I like the Constellation tomatoes. They're really good. And then we're going to chop up some fresh basil because we got it here. Buying a slice. You're more than welcome, Andrew. I will make you some pizza. I'm happy to cook. So I'm going to get some nice big basil leaves. We're going to pluck them delicately. Delicate fronds. But like, yeah, my new favorite fucking pizza topping, hands down, is those little halved, like little cocktail tomatoes and stuff. They're so fucking good because, you know, pizza's kind of a savory thing. And so you get these little kind of bites of kind of sweetness and juiciness from the tomatoes. If you really like tomatoes, I really fucking like tomatoes. And so I'm just ribboning some basil here, which will go on after the pizza is done, for color and for flavor, obviously. So I'll show you that right there. There's our little ribboned basil, which smells beyond fucking amazing. But what is pizza? You know, the crust is still going to be kind of dry and, you know, crusty, obviously. So we got to make some garlic butter dipping sauce. Am I right? So how we make garlic butter dipping sauce? You take a like dipping cup, okay? Now you take some butter, okay? Take some butter. See this butter? Throw it in there. Okay. See what I did there? Take that garlic butter dipping sauce. So you got the butter in a cup. Okay. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take some garlic. So I have some pre-minced garlic. Take some garlic. Okay. You're gonna take a spoonful of said garlic. Okay. And I like a lot of garlic. So you take your fucking garlic and you just go bam. And what we're going to do is we're going to, you know, seal up our garlic, throw it back in the fridge. So we got butter and we got garlic into a cup. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take that cup and you're going to put it in the microwave. And you're going to wait, because pizza's got to get done first. I like fucking, it's great. Pizza's fucking great. Pizza's so good, am I right? You guys like pizza? What's your favorite pizza topping? I'm hopefully going to get some new suggestions here to try for pizza. Because I think mine is the halved little tomatoes. I think they're great. And if you haven't ever tried them, or I've seen people, fucking that fruit fly, I swear to God. I've seen people put like diced tomatoes with like chili peppers and stuff. Like you get the little cans of like Rotel onto pizza, and it's fucking great still. But I think the nice whole little fresh little cherry cocktail tomatoes are fantastic pizza toppings. That's just me, and I encourage you guys to try it because it adds a kind of little burst of like moisture and sweetness to your pizza. And it's just a good flavor. So I encourage you guys to try it, and they're healthy. So onions and jalapenos, okay. Fair. Pepperoni. Pepperoni's a good go-to. There's a lot of different kinds of pepperoni out there, and they're all fucking delicious. I normally do my pizza with just cheese and vegetables. I don't think you really need a lot of meat to make a good pizza. You know what I mean? I don't mind pineapple on pizza. I've had pizza that is very good with pineapple on it, and I have had pizza that is very bad with pineapple on it. But like the reason people put pineapple on pizza, it's to get a bit of that kind of like savory sweetness kind of blend. But I'm doing the same thing, but just with tomatoes. They're going to kind of caramelize a little bit in the oven and sweeten up a bit. Just like a chunk of pineapple wood in the oven. So, well, that's the thing. This doesn't have like almost no fat in it at all. Like it has 2 tablespoons of olive oil. That is all of the fat in this whole pizza. There is next to no fat in it at all. So, but like it's so fucking good. Just a little halved, kind of softened, semi-sweet, caramelized fucking tomato is so fucking good on a pizza. And if you've never tried it, like I encourage you guys to try this recipe. I mean, obviously, when we get to the seasoning, I don't tell you the amount of seasoning to do because you should season it to your taste. But I give you the proportions of water and yeast and the flour that you should use and all of that stuff, and everything else is kind of whatever you want to add. And I encourage you to try this pizza crust recipe and put toppings on it you want because it's much healthier than buying frozen pizza. It's going to taste really good because you're going to make it to your taste. You're going to be able to make it to your exact taste and dial it in. And it's so fucking good and it's so fucking fresh. It's so delicious. And I encourage you to try it. So I bought all these ingredients at Walmart, by the way. That's where I shop is Walmart because I don't feel like I'm good enough for Target. But I bought all these ingredients at Walmart. All of them. The pasta sauce, you can even use your own pasta sauces that you want. But I recommend if you're going to buy pasta sauce, I really like Rao's, RAO''S. You can get their marinara sauce, which is really good. This is made with their vodka sauce, which is kind of a brighter orange color. And I just really like the kind of tang that sauce has. So, and then I got Belgioso wet mozzarella from the deli department over by where all the fancy cheeses are. And I had some nice shaved parm from Italy and buy some fresh basil, which I got in the produce department as well. And yeah, it goes together really easy. So you can make a lot of batches at once. Yeah, the ones that are still open after COVID, right? I've eaten at a lot of places in the cities too. I think my favorite restaurant now in the city is Matt's Bar. You know what I mean? The fucking Juicy Lucy at Matt's Bar. I mean, come on now. It's pretty hard to fucking beat that. I like the fact that they're all just like cash based, But yeah, they do. So like a lot of people say like the 5-7 Club. It's not. I don't think the 5-7 Club is as good as Matt's Bar. Matt's Bar is the place to get a Juicy Lucy. So, which is a Minnesota invention, by the way. For those of you who don't know what a Juicy Lucy is, you need to have one. It is fantastic. It's also dangerous. So, it is dangerous to eat. But yeah, the Juicy Lucy at Matt's Bars. That's probably my favorite restaurant in the cities. So that's what I'm saying. When my mother came up here to visit one time, I brought me and my buddy Steve, drove all the way down to the cities from where I live, which is like an hour away. One of the two. I don't know. Matt's Bar is better, so I don't go to 5-7 or 5-8 or whatever it is. But it's drove all the way down there with my mother and my buddy Steve, and ate there just because they hadn't been there. And I was like, I'm gonna take you down there. And we're gonna try Juicy Lucy, and this is supposedly the place that invented it. And it's a burger. But they take like 2 thin patties and they put American cheese, like a big block of American cheese, in between the 2 beef patties. And they cook it so the beef patties kind of melt into this like volcano of molten cheese between cow. And then they make a burger and you eat it. And the volcano of molten cheese explodes into your mouth when you eat the burger because it's in this like pocket between the 2 burgers. And it's so fucking good. And that's a Minnesota invention. There's a place that opened here in Waite Park that I want to go to, that they make a bunch of Juicy Lucy's as well, and it's obviously a lot closer to me than the city's is. Because it's not the same. There's no risk involved if the cheese is on top. It doesn't stay like molten. So like the thing about having the cheese in the middle of the two beef patties is it kind of steams and it kind of mixes with the meat juice. So but like you can put cheese on top of a Juicy Lucy as well, but like having the cheese inside the burger is amazing. So it's amazing. Something umami. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of some bullshit, but it's just good. Just don't eat it right away when they give it to you, because you will absolutely fucking scald and burn the absolute ever loving piss out of your fucking mouth if you bite into that burger right away, and all of that fucking molten hot as fucking lava boiling point cheese shoots into your mouth. You will burn the ever loving shit out of your mouth. Now I'm talking like, ooh, that's hot. I'm like, literally, you will have burns like in your mouth, like if you tried to drink boiling water type of hot. I mean, they kind of are. I mean, the burger is like an American invention, basically. I mean, even though the original hamburger was on like white bread pieces, you know. But yeah, Americans are burgers. They're actual burgers. But like, it's so fucking good, Tom. You have no idea how good a Juicy Lucy is. Is our pizza done? Let's check it. Oh, we got some spillage on the cheese. We're not quite done yet, though. That's probably that sizzle I was hearing. Was the fact that some of the cheese spilled over the crust. But I'll get a plate. You guys can see how good this fucking pizza. I have actual, like, good fancy plates. I don't eat off paper like some fucking pleb. But it's really good. I don't think you ever got the chance to have one, probably, Tom, while you were here, unless you went to the cities. But Juicy Lucy's really fucking good. If you ever make it to Minnesota, Tom, we'll take a trip to all the coolest places in Minnesota again. No, you don't need to. These are like lined baking sheets. It'll scrape right off, especially if the cheese is like hot still. I'll scrape it right off and flip it back onto the pizza. It won't be no thing. Hooters, all right. Was it the one at the Mall of America? Was that the one you went to, Tom? Was the one at Mall of America? All right. Shut the oven off. We can set our fucking lovely garlic butter dipping sauce. Oh, good. Some of the cheese that hit the pan is going to be a little roasty toasty. It's going to be a little blackened, but that's all right. I kind of like that. We're going to let that sit for a minute or two so it can kind of cool off, so I don't burn the ever loving piss out of my mouth. We'll get our freshly ribboned basil on there. Garlic butter dipping sauce. Not quite fully constituted yet. We'll give it just a little bit more time. TGI Fridays tier. Sliders, there you go. Correct! The one at the very top on the third floor of the Mall of America. Been there a couple times. But I thought they only let people with big boobs work at Hooters. This girl was like a 12-year-old. She was built like a 12-year-old. Just, if she had shorter hair, she could have been a boy. for all I know. So, and so there's our beautiful. Take a look at this. Our Beautimus garlic butter dipping sauce, which is comprised of garlic and butter. It's not that great. Mall of America is not that great. People love it for some reason, but if you live here in Minnesota, it's not that great. It's not that great. She was real nice. I'll give her that. She was a really good waitress and stuff, but not really the eye candy I wanted from Hooters. You know what I mean? Because that's the only reason anyone goes to Hooters. The food isn't all that great, but that's why people go to Hooters, is for like the eye candy. You know what I mean? Fair. Mall of America does attract huge crowds of people. But they got a Legoland and there's an amusement park that's indoors, and now they have a giant water park they're going to add onto it. They're going to add like 2 or 3 more hotels to it, too. It's gigantic. It's going to be cool as fuck. Cool as fuck. So, do I have my pizza cutter for cutting piazza? Where did I put that? There it is. I have a Martha Stewart pizza cutter. Because I stand behind everything she's ever said before, ever. Just kidding, that's a joke. Those of you who don't know about all the racism Martha Stewart did, it's a joke. Perfect. Just gonna keep letting that cool for a second. That's right, she did. She also yelled the N-word on television. It is. It literally takes like an hour to walk around the whole mall. Like the inner ring of the mall is like an hour walk around. It's gigantic. The Mall of America is way too fucking big. It's absurd. Oh, that's right. You're right, Todd. Paula Deen was the one who said the N-word on television. You're right. My bad. Wouldn't surprise me. Minnesota seems like the kind of people that would like that type of bullshit. That's their thing. All right, you guys ready to see what we're doing here? So obviously you have to like use a spatula and stuff because I used a whole ball of mozzarella, of wet mozzarella, so it's going to be kind of stringy. But like, let's see here. Tell me what you think. Paula or Martha? Martha Stewart, hands down. If I had to choose between the two, like if you had a gun to my head, they're like, you have to pick one. Martha Stewart. How's it look? How'd I do on my pizza, do you think? Pretty good? Thank you. It's all made from scratch. And we did it from beginning to end in like an hour and 30 minutes. It is very fresh. It's very delicious. I haven't tried it yet, but I assume it's delicious. And I'll kind of show you the crust here after I get enough bites into it. So that's still very hot. Where you can see I know, right, Todd? Like, once you make your own pizza, which is really fucking easy to do, you will never buy like frozen pizza again. And like, here's the thing, ingredient wise, and I bought like nice ingredients to make this pizza. That whole pizza probably cost worth for the ingredients to make it about $1.85. Like literally $1.85 to make that entire fucking pizza. So it's cheap. It's cheap to make your own pizza. It's so good though, too. Yeah, exactly. And there's no reason it should be because making a pizza is so fucking cheap. I agree, Todd. There's no fucking reason pizza should cost over $5 for like a really premium pizza. There's no reason it should cost over $5 because it is so fucking cheap to make a pizza. I agree. So as you can see, the crust is not like underdone. It's perfectly like a beautiful like dark brown all the way around. Nice and crispy. Probably can't hear that, but it's nice and crispy. It's so delicious. It is an electric range. I hope once I get a house, I'll have a gas range, so that'd be great. Fucking gas range would be the way to go. And a fireplace, so I could get wood. Mm. I don't know if you can see the steam coming off this beautiful hot pizza. Nice and fresh, made from scratch. If I had any Italians in my family, they'd probably still be genuinely upset with me like the rest of my family, but fuck them. That's what I say. Fuck them. Mm. Somebody was fucking your pizza, you're saying, ACM? Is that what you're telling me? Was somebody fucking your pizza? There. Everyone likes pizza. I agree. And this is what I like about this sauce. You can do whatever sauce you want. That's a good question. That's a good question for Tom. When is he coming back to the United States of America? I do enjoy a barbecue pizza, to be fair, when it's done right. But I don't want super sweet barbecue sauce on my barbecue pizza. Tom might have went to bed, Todd. Oh, there he is. I'm a big like Carolina style vinegar based barbecue type person. That's kind of my thing. And that does not make a good pizza crust. A good pizza sauce. I mean, it probably would if anyone actually made it, but like, but as long as we all agree that Alabama mayonnaise based barbecue sauce um, should go away. Well, I'm going to bed after this. I am fucking tired. That's for sure. But like Alabama has their own kind of barbecue sauce where the base is mayonnaise. All right. The last one that we haven't tried yet, other than the apple pie one, the caramel apple Blake's hard cider. That's right, Carolina. So I'm on a vacation fill-in right now. I'm not on the route, so I'm home this week. So we'll give her the old smell test. It smells like a caramel apple, which is good. Okay. I actually probably like that the best out of all three of the ones I've tried so far. This is fucking amazing. So the caramel is not overpowering. You get the kind of sweetness. The caramel, yeah, cider, because it's almost fall. This is the new Blake's hard cider fall pack, Todd. If you like ciders and stuff like that. This caramel apple one's really good actually. The caramel isn't overpowering the apple. The apple isn't overpowering the caramel. It's actually very well balanced. And they're 6.5%. So you have like 5 of them and you're just gone. You know what I mean? So I like that. The caramel apple one's probably the best one so far. Not gonna lie. But get this, Todd. We had a vote earlier on what flavor to try. And there's literally a flavor called apple pie. And none of the Americans voted for apple pie at all. Nobody voted for apple pie, which to me sounds a lot like terrorist activity. So that's all I gotta say. That would be a terrorism. There. Put that together and we'll do a picture for everyone. There we go. Now everyone can be happy. They can be a happy. Ta-da. Fair. Well, if you are interested in a very good cider, Todd, I would recommend Blake's. They're made in Michigan. They're made in Michigan, and it's a little family-owned company. Started in 1946. And they have like 4 varieties of apple that are their own apple. And they make a really, really, really good cider. It's fantastic. It's delicious. Well, if I'm gonna have moonshine, I'm just gonna have Everclear and Tang. What more do I need? Well, I live in the bumfucks in Minnesota, and I was able to get it. So it's probably around. They had 14 different varieties of Blake's when I went in there, and they had 2 of the big variety packs, and then there was 13 little packs that are all one flavor. So I would assume if I could find those in my like Hodunk liquor store, you could probably find them somewhere around town. Or if you have a regular place that you go to, you could probably ask them to order it to see if they have it. So That is one thing about my liquor store. If you want something, they will try to see if they can order it for you. If they can find this distributor, they will order it for you. I mean, that's fair time. But don't give it up just yet. Don't give up your dreams just yet if you can find it. Malort. Wormwood liquor. That's what everyone wants. I actually don't mind Malort, and wormwood liquor. It's like, I don't find it as bad as everyone seems to think it is. So, well, because it's a liqueur. It's not like a drink. It's not like booze. It's a liqueur, and it's more of a gag because Malort is like very bitter and disgusting. It kind of tastes like vomit. Like wormwood kind of tastes like vomit, and that's what Malort is made out of, is wormwood. I can take it or leave it. Malort isn't so bad, actually. So I bought some of this, and I was gonna make some Moscow mules tonight, but nobody voted to have any. I got some naturally tangerine flavored Finnish vodka, and everyone was said beer tonight, ciders tonight. No Finlandia. It's all right. Plenty of time for another time. Delaware Phoenix Walton Waters. Okay, that's a long name. It's a very long name. Have you ever had Everclear? Yeah, you just pour a big glass of Everclear, and you take that like Tang, Tang, like a big jug of Tang you get at like Walmart or wherever. And you put 4 scoops of that into Tang. Well, that, to be fair, that's who I want to make my absinthe. Is a little old lady. To be fair, if I had to have absinthe, that's who I want to make. That is who I want to make absinthe. We just made some pizza, Como. You want to take a look at it? It's all done. I made the dough and everything. So if you go back and watch the stream, I made the dough and everything from scratch. So we made pizza. So it's delicious. Yeah, it doesn't take long to make it. Start to finish, and that's with me answering questions and waiting for the dough to prove and everything. It was about 90 minutes. You could make your own pizza. And it turned out very well and quite flavorful. And the crust turned out very good, nice and brown, as you could see. Absolutely delicious. Yeah, you should try it, Como. If you got some flour, some all-purpose flour laying around, and some olive oil and some salt and some spices and stuff, you could make it very easily. Oh, look at that! So, you want to take a look at the pizza we made now that it's done? Finboy, tell me what you think about our pizza. We made from scratch, the dough and everything. It's got the beautiful kind of caramelized, softened little cherry tomatoes, fresh basil, fresh mozzarella. It's pretty good. Of course, the garlic butter dipping sauce. It's real easy to make. Took about 90 minutes, start to finish, to make a beautiful pizza dough and make it delicious. You could make it, femboy. You could make it really easy, and it is, boy, is it good. You could have fresh homemade pizza tonight. And of course, I'm washing it down with a caramel apple cider. It reminds me. Oh, by the way, you might not be able to see it. Maybe if I shut my phone screen off. Oh, there it was. It showed up for a little bit. Kind of see this faint little kind of spider web crack on there. So I was playing with Paige's cats because I'm watching her cats while she's away doing National Guard stuff. And just my luck, I had my phone sitting down. I was whipping one of these little feather things around. It has a bell on it. And I was whipping it back and forth, and it came back and it hit my phone screen. And thankfully, it didn't crack my phone's case, but my actual like phone screen. But it cracked the screen protector, which is like a Glass protector. Cracked that, and I was like, "Fuck!" Of course, that's my luck. Thank you. It is an Austro-Hungarian World War One hat with the like eagle feathers and everything in it. It's my lock screen. I replaced it from the Queen, and then my regular phone background screen is a map of the world where all of the countries are the current camouflage hues, which is what you see on the streams if I don't put up a picture. It's a mountain troops hat with the alpine goggles and the eagle feathers and everything. So, because there was a lot of hat customization done in World War One. All right, take it easy, femboy. That's right. Well, for the Austrians, it just would have been light infantry. So this one just has the embroidered um, FJI with the crown over it patch. But it looks like the standard 1908 field cap. I wish I had an Ottoman Cadillac. Like I really do. I want a nice like repro Ottoman Cadillac so bad. I would love to do like an Ottoman World War One impression because I do Austro-Hungarian World War One, at least for early war, and I would love to do like an Ottoman impression for World War One. Well, Abraham, those didn't ever actually make it to the Ottomans. So the M18s with the visors cut off and stuff, those never actually made it to the Ottomans, and they barely saw service towards the end of World War One with the Germans. The vast majority of Ottoman troops would either wear no hat or a kabalak, which was kind of like a wool wrapping around a wicker kind of helmet. That's what the Ottomans would wear for pretty much the whole war. So they did. Like German assault troops in 1918, the very end of 1918, used them, but they were the only ones who ever did. They never made it to the Ottoman Empire. So unfortunately, before the war ended. So true, but like you got to remember that the Ottomans like grew up in that environment. No, no, no. So there's the three kinds of M18. There's the regular M18, which doesn't have the ear cutouts. There's the one with the ear cutouts, and then there is one that has the visor cut off and the skirt is cut back a little bit. Um, but yeah, those were all technically M18 stall helms. So, but a lot of the ear cutout ones also never really made it to the front by the time the war ended. And the ear cutout ones were designed for troops that needed to be able to hear better. So you would see them given to like phone operators, like radio operators and stuff. You would see them given to doctors so they could use their like stethoscope a little easier and stuff like that. And mostly for like cavalry, they were kind of designed for like cavalry and like transportation corps people that would be going up and back from the line so they could hear and communicate effectively, because the steel coming down this far and blocking your hearing made it hard to like hear, so they would cut these kind of little notches out so you could hear a little easier. But you never really see them on the front lines. And then there was an Ottoman contract for a visorless M18 helmet in early 1918 for the Ottoman Empire, and a lot of people believed that it was so that they could pray because the Ottomans were Muslim without taking their helmet off, because you're supposed to touch your forehead to the ground during Muslim prayer ceremony. So by cutting the visor off and kind of bringing the edges of the helmet up a little bit, it was supposed to allow them to touch their forehead to the ground to pray. Without having to take their helmet off, because you have, as a Muslim, you have to pray 5 times a day, yada yada, this and that, and but they never made it before the end of the war. So the German assault troops would use them in limited numbers at the very end of World War One. Most of the M18s were just regular, standard, basically M16 Stahlhelm shells. The only difference between the M16 and the M17 German Stahlhelms is the M16 has a leather sweatband, leather pads, and it has these big lugs to attach the Pickelhaube chin strap to, so you could retain it on your head. The M17 would replace the leather sweatband that held all the pads on with an aluminum one. Other than that, it would still maintain the lugs of the M16 to hold the Pickelhaube chin strap on. The M18 would get rid of those little lugs that would hold the Pickelhaube chin strap on and would go to the style that would be more familiar in World War II, where the chin strap was directly sewn to the aluminum liner band that held the pads in place. So that would be the three major distinctions between the M16, the M17, and the M18 German Stahlhelms. Original Pickelhaube covers do turn up from time to time, but they are very expensive. $300-400 for a kind of beat up one. The beaded Stahlhelms? What do you mean by beaded? All right. I'll Google it. Oh, the beaded Stahl? That was just a manufacturing thing. That was just the stamping machines they used. That's all. So it's just a difference in stamping machines. Define model kit. I agree, Abraham. Not really. I do have a couple like 40K minis. Because I'm a big fan of 40K, but I will only buy like one model here and there to like have. So I only got like three or four. But no, I've never really been big into like making model tanks and planes and stuff, other than like Lego stuff. I've got a pretty, as you can see, there's a Lego, um, that is the ship from Guardians of the Galaxy up there, and then there's a tall Groot. Yeah, that's a Lego ship from Guardians of the Galaxy up there that was sent to me by a friend and I built. It was really cool because Guardians of the Galaxy is like probably Star-Lord's probably my favorite Marvel superhero. Yeah, I like Legos. Don't grab. I'll grab it. I'll grab it down next to my tin-lined copper cup. So it even has all the peeps inside. All the people. You know, Gamora and Star-Lord and Rocket and Groot and everybody. They're all in there. And then I've got big. I made a mess. I've got Big Groot, the very fragile Big Groot that I now just exploded all over the room because I dropped him. That's okay. I'll put him back together later. Got the very Big Groot. I don't play with them. They just sit up there. They've been sitting up there for a very long time. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I used to be pretty big into Legos. I do kind of want to get one of like they have these like big Lego like house plants that you can put together. I kind of want to buy one to like have as like a decoration somewhere, just like a Lego house plant, which I think would be kind of tasteful. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, Legos are very expensive, incredibly expensive. A repro set, Como, or a real set? Well, I mean, I have a fake houseplant named Harold already, but I'm like, fucking big houseplant would be awesome. Is it like one of the What Price Glory ones, Como? Because that's the best 1908 repro you can get. Is the What Price Glory one? It's probably not very good then, Como. If it's there's a lot of features that a lot of because basically What Price Glory the only one who does it like historically accurate. There's a lot of people that miss a lot of shit, the fine details on the 1908 web gear. Like how the little dividers in the pockets for the charger clips are not woven directly into the pocket. They're separate pieces and they're sewn in place. A lot of repro companies do that. Where it's a separate piece that's woven in place, that's sewn in place rather than being woven directly as part of the pouch. Because original 1908 web gear, it was woven as part of the pouch. Like it was part of the weave. The dividers were literally part of the weave. They weren't an extra piece of webbing sewn in place. A lot of other repro companies take an extra piece of webbing and they sew it in place because it's easier. But What Price Glory is the way to go. If you want to get a 1908 set of web gear, they make the best one on the market, and a lot of people really agree on that. Best part is it's actually not all that expensive because they run deals on their like sets of equipment. So like getting a whole set of 1908 web gear from What Price Glory can be fairly cheap, actually. It can be like less than $250. And it's a very, very good set of 1908 web gear. I agree. Their shit is very affordable as far as like reproductions go. And their 1908 gear is like cream of the crop. I can actually like get mine. Mine's not that far away. Alrighty. So in the pockets, as you can see, they're kind of on the edge. There's no like seam. It's just sewn into the edge of the pocket. As you can see, there's no seam there. If I pull on it, it actually pulls the edge of the pouch. They're directly woven into the actual pouch itself. They're not a separate liner piece. So it's the way to go. And of course, mine are all like blancoed with the nice World War I blanco. And you've got your entrenching tool and entrenching tool head, and your entrenching tool handle over here by your bayonet and your water bottle. So it's the way to go. It's the way to go. All right, take it easy, Como. Hopefully, I'll see you again soon. Fucking. There we go. Look at that. This Butamus 1908 set of web gear. It's the way to do her. It's the way to do her. Hopefully, I didn't upset Como too much. I didn't mean to like shit on his 1908 set, but If you're gonna get reproduction gear, get good reproduction gear. You know what I mean? And this fucking thing is a nightmare to put together. 1908 fucking web gear is a pain in the ass to put together. Because all the parts are like interconnected and interlinked. So like I didn't blanco on purpose the like inside of the equipment. So like if you look, you can see like a very distinct like color difference. I didn't blanco the inside of the webbing because it's all like marked where everything has to sit with like pencil. So that way I can put it back together correctly if I ever need to like take it apart and reassemble it. Because otherwise I will never exactly remember exactly where like all the marks are on it for all the like buckles and everything of how it goes together. Pretty much, yeah, I agree. But yeah, but I see a lot of guys actually make that mistake, Tom, and they blank out the inside. But yeah, it's all marked with pencil exactly where to go. What do you mean? What's this, Dan? We're doing a live stream till I'm done with this piece of pizza and this cider, and then I'm going to bed. 2 days? What do you mean 2 days? You talking like 2 days in a row? Is that what you're saying? Oh, I'm just hanging out. I've been having some problems making videos for you guys, so I figured I'd do some live streams because the videos are, uploading and converting and whatever. There'll be a cool one for you this fucking Sunday. I'll tell you that much. It'll be cool, Julio. All right, we got till my beer's gone. Before the stream ends. Final questions, comments, concerns? I still got to shower and like shave my beard off so it stops pulling the accentuation away from my beautiful mustache. Are aliens real? Probably. I mean, if human beings exist and are this fucking stupid, there's probably alien life out there that's just as stupid. Am I right? I feel like there's been life out there, other alien life. Like they found life on Mars. You know, like there was life on Mars, and there's like microbes and stuff on Mars. Um, so I feel like there has been sentient life out there on other planets, but I feel like there's a very high chance that sentient life, once they achieve the ability to destroy themselves, they do. So like when a bunch of people got nukes here in humanity, And obviously, we did not fire nukes all around the world and set the atmosphere on fire and like end life on this planet, basically. But I feel like a lot of what could have been technologically advanced alien civilizations um, survived that. I feel like the chance of surviving the ability to destroy yourself is a pretty low chance. No idea. I'm not a superstitious person. I'm not really an alien person or anything like that. Wendigos are definitely real, but yeah, we don't talk about those. Just say, just so you guys can hear it, because they're just forest spirits. They are alive, but it's kind of the same thing that like makes the trees flow in the breeze and stuff like that. So no, I don't like Wendigos. Skinwalkers and Wendigos are different things, believe it or not. So skinwalkers are like inherently like bad, and they're kind of from like the American like Southwest, whereas like Wendigos are from the North. They're a very like northern thing, and Wendigos can be good and bad. They could be both, or they could be very neutral. So, but yeah, I agree with Tom. It's about time to be fucking hitting the hay. So I'm exhausted, and I got to get up early tomorrow. I have to get up very fucking well. It's sleeping in, but I want to go to bed early to be well rested because I have to drive to the cities in rush hour. So I would prefer to be well rested for my 90 fucking minute commute. So hopefully you all enjoyed this live stream. And if you do make a pizza, I would very much like to know how your pizza turned out with my dough recipe and all the other good stuff. Be cool to know. So, or what you did different, stuff like that. Thank you all for stopping by. I have to, Dan. I'm sorry. I do because it's important for getting a new job. Like it's important. Like this is the last hoop I have to jump through to get the new job. So it's like very important I'm well rested to do this thing. And I literally set aside time to be well rested to go do this. So it is very important because if I get this new job, I will not only be making more money, I will be working half the time, which means I will be able to make more videos and do more live streams and stuff. So that's literally the goal. I will be making, it'll be slightly less money overall, but I'll be making more money for working less hours. So like I make a lot of money now, but I'm working 70, 80 hours a week. Whereas I'll be making slightly less money, but I'll only be working 30 hours a week. You know what I mean? So, but I gotta go do this. It's the last hurdle I gotta jump through. So, but it's important, unfortunately, Dan. I would love to stay up because like normally Wednesday is my one day off of the week, where I can sleep in as much as I want, but I can't. Unfortunately, it's very important that I get some sleep to go do this. So, but I'll let you know how I do tomorrow. Hopefully I can, you know, let you know how it went and stuff. That'd be super swell. So, but thank you all for stopping by. Hopefully I can see all of you here in the next video. Hopefully see all of you here. Hopefully tomorrow with good news. So, nighty night, everybody.